What is up, y'all? I'm your host, Teddy Tidwell, and you guys are all watching Toilet Talk with Tidwell. That would be me, obviously. Our discussion topic for this episode is the giggle loop. What is the giggle loop? I'm about to explain. So imagine you're at a serious event, like a funeral, for example, or something sad, right? But then you think to yourself, how weird would it be if somebody in this room, for no reason at all, just bust out laughing? And the thought of that makes you giggle a little bit. It makes you giggle. So then one other person notices you giggling and says to you, "Why are you so giggly?" You're like, "I really don't know." And then you both start giggling until the point where everyone around the two of you does not know what the heck is going on. But you keep giggling and giggling and giggling and giggling until they finally are like, "I don't know what the heck is going on, but something about it is just hilarious." That is how the giggle loop works. It can work in any place, at any time, as long as there is a big group of people. Imagine if one of them passes gas and then their pants fall down, but you're the only one who noticed. As they're pulling their pants back up, you try to contain your laughter, but you fail miserably. Someone will walk up to you and say, "What's so dang funny?" And I'll be like, nothing. Nothing. They'd be like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, yeah, for sure. Nothing. There are some categories that you can put the giggle loop in. Like, for example, kindergarten. That's a category. In kindergarten, the giggle loop runs rampant. All you gotta do to make the giggle loop go around is to be sitting with your classmates at the lunch table. And then you let out a huge belch. The people on either side of you probably heard it, and they're trying not to get the giggles. The person across from you would have heard it and would have also tried to contain their laughter. But they all eventually fail miserably, and the laughter around the table is so contagious that we have everybody laughing out loud, repeat, throughout the entire lunch table, to the point where it grabs the attention of students who are at other lunch tables and even grabs the attention of the lunch lady. Next category, the giggle loop in 4th grade. A lot older and more mature than kindergarten, of course, but they still have a sense of humor. You see, it would be as easy as having a new student in the class with some silly name, and when they are introduced, the whole class bust a gut. In 4th grade, we had two twin brothers as new students. And when they introduced themselves, that's where the giggle loop began. Here's why. One of them's name was Jabari. The other one was Djibouti. Yeah, that's right. As in, quit shaking Djibouti. Okay, that was a bad joke, but you get the picture. See, everyone, when they heard the name Djibouti for the first time, they are all just trying to contain their laughter the best that they can. But then one person has to completely lose it and start the giggle loop all over again since kindergarten. Yep, the giggle loop is still rampant in the 4th grade as well. Our next category, repeat, next category is the Gigaloop in 8th grade. Older and more mature than kindergarten and 4th grade, or are they? This one time, when we were in science class in the 8th grade, somebody passed gas out loud. Nobody knew who had done it, though. And before we all knew it, we knew that everyone in the class was denying it. And one person in the class had done it, they just were not fessing up. The teacher was totally tuned out. Didn't even know that somebody had passed gas, and eventually we could not find out who the culprit was. So yes, that began the Gigaloop all over again since 4th grade. We all were supposed to be paying attention to the teacher, who, like I said before, was tuned out and had no idea anything funny had just happened. That just made us try even harder to contain our laughter while the teacher was teaching. Because when the teacher is teaching and it's utter silence, with the students, the last thing you expect to hear is all of the students, the whole class, bust out laughing for no supposed reason at all. But did that fail? Yes, it did. Miserably. The entire class was laughing so hard. We were laughing so hard that we started crying. We were laughing so hard we were crying. Believe it or not. And for the final category, we've got the Gigaloop in 12th grade. You see, 12th graders don't find things that they used to think were funny. They don't find it funny anymore because they're grown, matured, changed, etc., etc., you name it. In 12th grade, the time when the Gigaloop would usually begin was every Thursday in the middle of chapel service. I remember the first time that happened. One of the students in the sanctuary had fallen asleep and they were snoring. Me and a buddy of mine I was sitting next to just looked at each other with a smirk on our faces. And then we began to giggle. And guess what that led to? Yep, you guessed it. Within no time, our giggles were so contagious, we had we had infected the entire sanctuary, the whole student body. And then the pastor walked up to the person who was laughing the loudest and said these words, "Young man, Satan is in you and he needs to get out." That right there is something that you would not expect anybody to say in the middle of the Gigaloop. All that to say, there are a bunch of appropriate places and the right amount of people for the Gigaloop to work. But then there are also those inappropriate places for the Gigaloop to start and infect everybody. One of those inappropriate places is church. But believe me, I've had that learning experience for myself. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did. Don't forget to hit that sub button for more content. Season 14, yes, I repeat, 14 of Toilet Talk with Terry will kick off this coming Friday. Anywho, that's all, folks. Keep it real. Peace.